The night was too quiet when 3 men in fake uniforms showed up at my gate, flashing red and blue lights from an old beat-up car. They shouted that they were officers here to remove me from my land. But something about them was wrong. Their badges looked cheap. Their boots didn't match, and one of them reeked of alcohol. My instincts screamed danger, and I instantly knew this wasn't official business. What they didn't realize was that I wasn't just a simple homeowner. I was a veteran, trained to stay calm when danger came knocking. And tonight I was more than ready. I had bought this land fair and square, away from the city to live in peace. But the HOA never stopped harassing me because I refused to join their crooked rules. First came threatening letters, then false fines. And now they had stooped this low, sending fake cops to intimidate me into leaving. I stood my ground, switched on the floodlights, and their disguises were suddenly exposed in brutal clarity. Their badges were rusted, their belts made of cheap plastic, and not a single one had a proper name tag. When I demanded their identification, they stuttered, and one of them pretended to call for backup on a toy radio. I raised my voice, telling them they were trespassers and not law enforcement. My hand rested calmly on the shotgun by the door, legal, loaded and ready. Their confidence cracked instantly. One finally admitted that the HOA sent them to enforce community law. That was the moment I knew for sure who was behind this scheme. I pulled out my phone, dialed the sheriff on speaker so they could hear every word, and watched their faces turn pale as the sheriff promised a patrol was already on the way. Before they could escape, I snapped photos of their faces and car plates securing the evidence. By the time real deputies arrived, the fake cops were trembling like leaves. And soon the HOA president herself was dragged into the mess, facing charges for impersonating law enforcement. But the real twist came later when I discovered one of the imposters was actually her own nephew, trying to earn a quick payday. That sealed her downfall completely. They tried to scare me off my land. But they forgot the one rule veterans live by: you never back down. Tell me, what would you do if fake cops appeared at your door in the middle of the night?